Hey everybody, Parks Ousley here with Upcomer, and I'm joined by Vulcan, the support for Evil Geniuses. You just beat Dignitas. It was a kind of wild game. You had the smite top. We'll see how much longer that lasts, but we'll get into that in a little bit. First, I'm back in the studio for the first time. You've been back now for a week. How is it being back in kind of your home?
Well, first, welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got it. And second, it feels good to be back because it's like there's a bigger divide between scrims and solo queue, and now like playing on stage where it's like there's a mentality switch a little bit, but it's sad that there's no fans still. I'm looking forward to hopefully fans coming back eventually. Otherwise, it's just like kind of boring. So there's that, but it feels good to like have that first step of getting back into studio and like just the drive to the studio and like you're listening to your music and you're chilling and then you get here. Kind of get your head in the game, and then I think it's much better.
Yeah. Did it feel surreal at all last week? Like your first time back, did you like step in and like, did it feel awkward? Or was it just like kind of natural?
I mean, it was kind of natural because even last year we had like some times when we showed up to the studio and played here, and then at international tournaments we played like on a venue, so it hadn't been like that long for me where I hadn't played on stage, so it was fine. Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It was pretty surreal for me.
Yeah, I can
It's
imagine.
like first time, like there are players here, like oh my god, this is incredible. So Evil Geniuses starting off pretty well, still very early in the split, and you had a pretty good lock-in performance. What is your like trajectory right now? Have you kind of figured everything out as far as communication, like team synergy, that type of thing, and you're just ironing out like specifics of how you play the game, or are there still like a lot of things that you all need to work on?
So I think where we're at is the honeymoon phase is kind of over, and now we're starting to see like the things that we need to work on. And I feel like today maybe we played the smite top strategy wrong because it doesn't feel right the way we're playing the game. And yeah, still a lot of stuff to work on. Communication, like you said, synergy. Sometimes I think we have a hard time getting to understand each other in the game because maybe I'll say something that I used to say to Blabber, and then Casper doesn't, or Inspired doesn't know instantly what that means because I played with Sven and Blabber for like 2 years, so I'm like used to being able to say a few words and then boom, they understand. Let's go, we know what to do. And now we kind of need to build that back up with my new teammates and my new team. So there's that, which is mostly communication, and then yeah, I mean, we have a lot of stuff to work on. So we're still new.
Okay.
Yeah.
So despite looking pretty good overall, at least record-wise, still a lot to work on.
Mm-hmm.
You just played Dignitas, who everyone has been kind of raving about being so much better than expected. And they were 2-0, so you now have given them their first loss of the regular season. Congratulations.
Sorry.
Sorry. What do you feel about NA this year compared to last year? Everyone's talking about how exciting it is to watch. There's so many different styles, so many new players. It looks better than we have previously. What is your opinion on that?
I'm not sure if the league is better as a whole, like the teams are better. Mostly because a lot of the teams are new, so it's hard. Like, I mean, I think the teams are not as good as they were last year, obviously, because by the end of the year, I feel like most teams have everything figured out, so then they play at a higher level and they play like more cohesive and everything. But if you take that into account, I feel like at least for ballings, Hans and Berserker are very, very good. So it makes the balling like level higher in general in the region. So I'm expecting that by the end of the year, the teams will be stronger than they were last year. And I also I feel like the teams were pretty strong last year. The 3 teams that we sent to Worlds did like honestly pretty good compared to some of the other years that we went internationally. So yeah, that sounds very hopium when I'm saying that for NA fans. But yeah, I think by the end of the year, teams will be better than they were last year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hopeful as well. I want to talk about Challengers Queue because that's another like component to this potentially NA like growth this year. So I want to talk about a couple things. One, how has it been? And then two, what is it doing to solo queue?
I think it's very good because most of the issue in the past with like the in-house systems, like the Discord servers and everything, for NA was the player interest, and people would kind of lose interest after a while. But it seems like, well, at least for now, everyone is like very involved at 6 p.m. when the queue opens up because there's like a specific time frame when you can play Champions Queue. And then when it opens up, everyone's like waiting at their PC, like spam refresh. There's no refresh, but like ready to press hit queue, right? So it feels like the player interest is very high. There's still a few things to iron out, like there's no MMR system yet, so the teams are very random. So then you get some of these games where it's very unbalanced and then it's a very fast stomp and it doesn't feel that great. But we knew it would be like that, like from the get-go. At the start, they just want to kind of get it rolling, and then eventually they'll add in the MMR system. It'll be much more balanced. But yeah, it's been fun, and it's been like higher level. The ping obviously is much nicer to play on. You don't get like to build bad habits that you might build on playing a lot of solo queue on 60 ping, for example. So yeah, I mean it's only been like a week now, but for now I think it's looking very good.
Yeah, we'll be better at killing champions after Zanya's or something.
Yeah, timing spells.
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that.
That sounds good. I'm looking forward to that. And then on the flip side, have you noticed like a solo queue drop off, or like longer queues, or like more frustrating games, or anything like that?
Have I played solo queue since Champions Queue? I'm not sure. I think one day, because during the day we're just scrimming, and then after scrims the Champions Queue opens up, so we're just going to scrims into Champions Queue. But I scrimmed during one day and the queue was fine, I guess. I didn't notice a big difference, but I'm sure during Champions Queue hours it's probably very painful for the people who are not led into Champions Queue. So that's like a potential issue in the future where like solo queue is like a bit dead, and then it's hard to make that jump between like being a solo queue player and then making your way into Champions Queue. But I'm sure like there'll be ways to get in Champions Queue, right? And we'll be adding people as time goes. So yeah.
So remaining hopeful on that as well, and we'll just kind of see in the long term what ends up happening. I guess that's pretty much it, honestly. Thanks again for the interview, and thank you all for watching. For more, please like, subscribe, check out the other stuff, and that's it. Have a good day.